This is a video on how to close the cottage. First thing you want to do is you want to go off and you want to turn off the water pump, the UV thing downstairs, the GFI, and the water pump and the water heater. Okay? Turn off all of those things. Then you're going to want to go outside and turn off the faucets to the outside. There's one in the back of the cottage and one up along the front, along the wall beside the dining room. Generally, before I start, I run a bunch of hot water, and then I have cold water sitting aside in the refrigerator or something like that for usage. But come in and turn all the spigots in the bathroom, kitchen, back here in the laundry room. Just open those all up. The spigots to the washing machine are already open, but you can double check and make sure they're open. And you also, you can flush the toilets, make sure they're empty. Hold it open so all the water goes out. The first thing you want to do when coming into the basement is drain all of the lines. You see that there is 3 of them here, so make sure you drain all of those. Just turn out and drain it in the bucket. You can see that the water is draining now into the bucket. After you drain the lines, just leave those valves open. That way there won't be any closed pressure where if there is any water anywhere, it can't build up pressure and burst. But leave the valves open after you've drained the water. Then at the base of the water heater, there is a little drain. Now this is why you want to do this first thing in terms of everything, because this can take a couple of hours to completely drain. What you want to do is tie one of the garden hoses to it. Stretch your garden hose as far down the front path as you can, so the siphoning capability will help pull the water out a little bit quicker. I've been meaning to get a new nozzle for this thing. This is how I turn the water on. I don't have the hose stretched all the way out yet, so maybe that's part of the problem. Should, hopefully once I get this all the way on, this will quit pouring out like this. There we go. Keep on turning that until you get some resistance. It comes out quite a ways, as you can see. I also prop the hose up a little bit so it doesn't face that a low spot trying to get up over the doorstep going out of the garage, going out of the basement. Similarly, I hook up a garden hose to the water pump and turn on that spigot and drain the water pump. The water pump's under pressure, so you don't have to worry too much about providing element. It drains quickly. You don't have to raise the garden hose because it'll drain quickly. Next, you want to detach the water housings. Dump the water out. You can use the water that you drain from the lines to clean the inside of the housings should there be debris there. Save the water filters. The water filters clog up mostly because skeege that builds up on them when they're not being used. And if you soak them in a good strong Clorox solution, maybe a quart of Clorox and 5 gallons of water, that'll take that skeege off, so you can reuse your filters. If there's a lot of debris in the filters, well, a lot of sand from the bottom of the lake, that's a bad thing. That means that you're going to have to go out and get the intake off the floor of the bottom of the lake. I've gone through that, and it's not a pleasant thing. It took me a couple days to fix that. But at any rate, take these off, set the water filters aside, and perhaps take them upstairs and soak them in Clorox water, quart and 5 gallons. You see the wrench for removing the water filters, and also the board in front of it is used to tap the water filters loose. I have written on there which way is loose. Already Colin and I have spent a lot of time doing it the wrong way. Needless to say, it buggered things up. But at any rate, as an aside, when you're putting things on in the springtime, just sort of somewhat hand tighten it. The tendency is to really whack it tight so it doesn't leak. Use plumber's silicone grease. You don't get very much and it's expensive, but it makes the difference between getting these things off and on and also being watertight without having them real tight on. So, when you're going to use a board to tap the wrench, make sure you do it close to the handle so you don't break the, make sure you do it close to the ring. You don't want to do it too far out on the handle because otherwise you might break the handle of the plastic wrench. Next thing you want to do is you want to prepare the dishwasher, and I'll go into detail now. Take a 3/16 inch socket, and I don't know if you can see that, but get in there and shorten up the legs so you can slide the dishwasher out. You know, so I brought over a carpet to raise the dishwasher up and slide it out on to keep it from scratching the floor. Okay, I loosened the legs up with a 3/16 inch hex drive. You can see about the amount of gap I have at the top there. And I slipped the carpet underneath both of the little legs, so now I can pull the dishwasher out. One thing to note is that little 3/16 thing tends to get stuck on that top of that leg, so just bang on it with a pair of pliers or something to loosen it up. Okay, I'm going to pull it out now. Okay, this is what you want to do. You want to disconnect the water supply line. It's this little nut right here. And you use a 11/16 or a 17 millimeter open-end wrench to loosen that. That's a water supply line in. If you don't, this will burst and freeze. There you can see that it's off. The next thing you want to do is going to disconnect the drain line, and I'll show you that. It's right over here, the red thing. Don't know if you can see. Yeah, don't know if you can see that. Here, I'll get another shot. There's a little spring clamp. You disconnect that, and that's the drain line. Yeah, okay. That's the disconnected drain line. Next, you start just dumping the antifreeze down the drain lines. Maybe a quart or two per. And then I put about maybe a couple of cups in the dishwasher. That comes out the drain line you open, so don't get too carried away with it. But you do that to all the sinks. Yeah, okay. That's the disconnected drain line. Next, you start just dumping the antifreeze down the drain lines. Maybe a quarter, two per. And then I put about maybe a couple of cups in the dishwasher. That comes out the drain line you open, so don't get too carried away with it. But you do that to all the sinks. Put about a half gallon in each one. Buy this stuff in the States, it's about half the price. The RV antifreeze. I put about a half gallon in the bathtub and a quart in the sinks. In the toilets, I have flushed it. I have held the stopper up so to get all the water that's possible out of the toilet out. And then I come along and I put a full gallon of the antifreeze in the tank of the toilet. Once the antifreeze is in the tank of the toilet, I use a plunger and get as much as water out of the toilet as I can. I then flush the toilet and I hold that thing up to make sure it's all out. And then I go black with a plunger again. Get as much down as I can. I put a full gallon of antifreeze into the wash machine, and then I put it on spin. And that flushes things down the tank out in the back. The next thing I will do, I will disconnect the water hoses from the back. Okay, you can see the water hose is disconnected. I had to turn the water off to the supply lines in order to access the where the hoses screw on. But after I screwed them off, I opened the water lines back up again. And I had drained the water lines from there into the sink. After doing everything, putting about a quart of water in the sinks, half a gallon in the bathtubs, full gallon in the in the wash machine, and a full gallon in the toilets, I notice I have about 3 quarts left, and I'm just going to put that excess in the toilets. And I will plunge that down.